Hello, we're coming towards Mothering Sunday, and we're not really going to be able to do what we'd like to be able to do on Mothering Sunday this year. Families are still going to struggle to meet together, particularly if they live any distance apart. And as a church, we love to be able to give out flowers in the manner we did the year before last. But of course, Mothering Sunday, all the services were cancelled last year. So it's, in that sense, a bit of an auspicious weekend, although it's not quite a year until the lockdown actually happened, the first one. But perhaps we need to go back to the point of Mothering Sunday. It's not obviously something that's directly in the Bible at all. It's something which was originally there to enable servants to go back to visit their homes from which they had come. We're not in that world now. But most of us are really conscious of the blessings that we receive from our mothers. Some of us receive more than others, and we mustn't just lay this blanket thing that everybody had a good mother. That can be very difficult for those who did not. Nor, of course, this idea that all women are enjoying being mothers. There are postnatal depression, and some of us just find it easier than others, to be parents. And then, of course, some women have never been able to be mothers. But mothering is much wider than that. It's about the care, nurture, training and instruction of children. The love and support that is given to children is so formative in their lives, and that can never be undervalued as we try to estimate how we can express our gratitude to those who've mothered us. In the Bible, the depth of love of mothers appears in places. For example, can a mother forget the baby at her breast? Even so, I will not forget you, says the Lord. In other words, one of the ultimate expressions of attachment in human love is that of motherhood. But God's love is greater. And then there's that challenging section on being a wife and a mother at the end of Proverbs. We can shy away from this a little bit because it suggests a sort of role modelling, but there's some interesting elements in there. Firstly, that the mum is not just a mum. She's not just looking after the family. She's not just looking after the home. She is promoting the cause of her husband and enabling him to do what he's called to do. She is in trade. She's in business as well. So she's got her own career. And it enables her to have children that are well cared for. It's very challenging. And often women can come under pressure because they feel they've got to put a quart into a pint pot because there's just so many elements that they're supposed to do or to be. Well, let's go back to that old adage. If you're feeling too weighed down, you're carrying burdens God didn't give you. The biggest obligation in any of our lives is to believe and trust in Jesus and to follow him. And Jesus says, when you follow me, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So if we're carrying a heavy burden, we've taken something upon ourselves that Jesus hasn't asked us to. We live in a society that throws so many obligations upon us. It makes us feel very driven. It makes us feel as if there's so much that we have to achieve. There's so many things we're supposed to be. And that getting the most out of life can actually be a strain and a struggle and a stress. We need to remember that first and foremost, we're not called to be a successful business person. We're not called to be the ideal woman or man. We're called to be the person God made us to be, which is to be a successful human being in his eyes. We often find ourselves in places of difficulty when we've abandoned, to a greater or lesser extent, the instructions of our Maker. So, mothers, this weekend, whatever is offered to you in gratitude, receive it. And if it is not, receive the love of God, who always loves you and loves you more than anybody else. And let's resolve in the coming year to be that person of love and care that God made us to be, and to seek him first so that we don't become overstrained and stressed by trying to be other things as well.